Welcome to episode 23 of the Rebel Army podcast, the official podcast of Cork City Football Club. And this week it's a bit different because we're in the club shop. Yeah, welcome to another episode of the podcast. And this week, myself and Aaron, we're inside the club shop. This is very different. We're not in the fancy studio this week.
Yeah, we're kind of hiding away in the corner between boxes and jerseys and all this crack.
But, state of the art.
Look, it's only the best for the Rebel Army podcast.
Yeah, I suppose we said, well, we had an excuse, like both of us are kind of missing next week, but there was also an opportunity to capture some players because they were coming in to meet fans as well today.
Yeah, we had 3 players in and we actually ended up having more in because a couple of the other girls came in as well, but we kind of saw our opportunity here to grab a couple of minutes with them rather than taking 40 minutes out of their day after a training session or something. But we'd get 3 perspectives this week, which is great.
Yeah, so look, we're going to talk to them about kind of, I suppose, all of them are, or 2 of them are kind of new to the club, and one of them has been here for a while, but in particular the focus on what they feel like being around fans and stuff like that, because it is a nice experience being in the shop, isn't it?
It's brilliant, yeah. Like, there's always a crowd that comes in for it, always a good atmosphere. Typically the players end up arriving a couple of minutes late as well, which sort of builds a crowd, which always makes it look good. But these things are always fun. Like, you get people of all ages coming in and people come from everywhere to see them, which is great. And
for anybody that's maybe overseas and maybe a relative of some of the players or something like that, like, our club shop is based in a shopping centre in the suburb of the city, not a million miles away from Turner's Cross. It's probably maybe 2 or 3 kilometres from Turner's Cross Stadium.
That's all I would say. Yeah.
But on a Saturday, this place gets really busy because a traditional farmers market happens outside the door of the shopping centre, so it'd be thronged with families and really busy and lovely atmosphere around.
And when there's a crowd in here, it kind of generates a bit of interest outside as well, because people are passing like, what's going on in there? And you get people coming in who've never heard of Cork City who all of a sudden are getting a picture with Cork City players, and that's kind of the purpose of it and the idea behind it as well.
Yeah, so you probably will hear a lot of noise in the background. Usually we have silence. Now, we've had a couple of diggers alright in a couple of the podcasts there, because
there's been beeping and there's been the podcast studio.
I think with Derek's podcast there was something happened, or there was one of them anyway. It was either Derek's or it could have been Jake's, or there was definitely noise.
That room we use is warm at the best of times, never mind in the middle of July.
It's a fantastic facility, but it does get hot in the summer.
It does. But once the diggers aren't there, we'll have to change the time that we do it, and I think we'll be all good.
The lads, Johnny Woods or someone, is up doing a bit of work, but we're also fresh from last night's 1-0 win over Finn Harps.
I don't even know what to say about that, to be honest. Well, the game itself wasn't the most entertaining affair.
No.
But I think the goal more than makes up for that. Yeah, more than makes up for it.
I think it's fair to say that Cathal O'Sullivan is the talk of the place at the moment. Online, it's everywhere. What a goal. To do it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, ridiculous. And it's like the other goals he scored this season as well are just as good. The one thing I noticed last night and this morning is every Friday and Saturday it's Cork City fans raving about him, but the last couple of weeks it's not just us anymore.
No.
Like, there's people abroad, people at other clubs in Ireland, people who probably have never heard of Cork City or never heard of the League of Ireland. They're looking at this guy and they're like, what the hell is up with him? He's unbelievable.
Rory's commentary is going viral again. Rory had another Sean Maguire moment, I think, but
what did he say? My goodness gracious me. It makes a great caption as well for
the League of Ireland used it anyway. I saw that.
Yeah, no, the reaction to it was incredible.
It was been and I see we actually mentioned it on last week's podcast that a lot of the Irish fan accounts and stuff for the national team and Irish players, they are raving about him again today.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, everyone is. It's not. I said it a while ago. It's not just Cork City fans anymore. It's gone beyond it now. It's gone beyond the League of Ireland.
Articles written about him in newspapers and everything. I'm sure people will read them over the week, and there'll be lots of rumours and lots of different things. But at the moment, he's a Cork City player.
Do you know what? You always see viral clips of a player or whatever. There's a viral clip every week of him. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant for him, brilliant for the club.
And just after that goal last night too, he went down the wing. He sped past a couple of players. He had another moment where he crossed the ball into the box, and if someone got on the end of that, I'm guaranteed that would have gotten going viral as well.
Yeah, he's just an exciting player to watch, isn't he?
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Brad also made a great save last night at the end as well.
Yeah.
Totally against the run of play because City dominated that game.
But you know what? That's the thing with Brad as well. Like, good keepers, whatever, make saves, do well throughout, but he didn't have a lot to do, and he's still switched on when he's called upon. It's not just last night; it's been every game this season. Just chatting to him there, that's his 15th clean sheet of the season.
It's unbelievable. 15.
When you contrast it with the situation from last year,
Yeah.
And all the goalkeepers we had last year, and we kind of couldn't get it right, it felt like.
And a plus 30 goal difference now.
Insane. And what's the closest? It was like 7 or 8 we said last week. Don't know how it is after last night, but
we're still 15 points ahead. Obviously, Athlone won as well last night, but they have a game in hand, all right. So potentially that might be narrowed to 12. But it mightn't either.
I'd still rather have the points. Yeah. So 15 points. Don't even know how many games are left anymore. To be honest, I've lost count.
Yeah. But no, we still have I don't know. We still have a third of the season to go.
It's still a good chunk of it.
But and you know what? Not a bad crowd last night either.
Yeah, it was good. Over 2,000 again. We're at the time of the year, we spoke about it before, there's been a lot of home games. It's summer, people are away, people have other things that they're doing or places that they are at the minute. But again, over 2,000 for Finn Harps in the first division. Again, kind of when you look at it, the bigger picture stuff, 2,000 at a first division game is nothing to be scoffed at.
When the average attendance in first division is less than 1,000, we're getting more than double that. So and I'd say if you looked historically over the years, I know when we moved to summer soccer, it was about trying to build up attendances, it was about trying to be more competitive in Europe and stuff like that. But I would say if you looked at June, July and possibly even a bit of August over the years, I'd say the attendances on average were probably lower than the shoulder months of those.
Yeah.
I would think.
But even as you said there, historically with the first division, like, I know we have this reputation of being full of ourselves as Cork City fans, but if you look at 2022 when we were here and this season, like, the averages are massive. Our averages, but that obviously brings the league's averages up as well, the first division. But look, it's a league where you might have a couple of hundred people at games in the last couple of years. Look at what we've had this year. We had 5.5 for Kerry at the start, wasn't it? Like, it's been a good season. That I know that they've sort of come down a bit the last couple of weeks, but I think we're all expecting they'll pick up again over the next couple of months as we head into the business end. But they've been good.
So obviously in the club shop today, anything kind of new and fresh in here at the moment that people need to kind of, maybe if they haven't been in here in a while?
There's a few bits in here actually, to be fair. We're like, the place is full of merchandise really. There's the Adidas
plenty
stuff.
Of stock.
Yeah, it's the Adidas stuff. There's the new Rebel Army clothing stuff, the first batch of stuff, the hoodies and t-shirts that people have seen already. Yeah. But to be fair, compared to the last couple of years, we're really full up in here, to be honest. And there's a lot more to come over the next couple of weeks and months, especially as we come to the end of the season and we come into next year's stuff, which we spoke about before and Dermot spoke about before. It's going to be the whole new range. But some of the stuff we have here, I actually think pricing wise is fairly competitive as well. It's good. Yeah, because if you look at football stuff around at the moment, it's quite expensive. Like if you go to your JD Sports, your Lifestyle or whoever, and you look at the other teams from around the world, the gear is not cheap. There's some clubs there selling, the replica and authentic jerseys. You're talking €150, like. But now, to be fair, we do have stuff here. Like, we've obviously got your match jerseys, which are a little bit more on the pricey side, but we've kind of got the more inexpensive stuff as well. Like, you've got the t-shirts with the club crest. There's the plain t-shirts,
hats and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's something for everyone here, no matter what you're looking for, really. So that's a big thing for us. We want to have choice. We want to give people choice and options. And I think the state of the club shop at the minute, it's in a good state, and we're happy where it is. But
because there's been times over the years I've come in here and maybe stock levels were down and there wasn't a whole lot of new things during the middle of the season. It's nice that there is new things arriving in the middle of the season this year. Yeah,
and the main thing actually really is it's nice that we always have jerseys, because there's a time where you'd launch the jersey, you'd sell out and you're waiting months to get more in, whereas now we've, order batches are selling out, but there's more coming in, and they're here. There's the 3 jerseys are here, which is good. And as you said, there's new stuff coming throughout the year. It's not a case of there's a drop around Christmas time and you're waiting 12 months again. But
we don't have a facility here whereby you can get names and stuff on the back, do we?
We do. You can. At the minute we actually don't, because the machine is broken, but there's another one on the way. But you can do your names and numbers here. You can do that on the online orders as well. You can add that.
Fantastic.
But if you have a City jersey already, you can actually bring it back in and pay to have a name and number put on. It's €15 to do it, which it's fine really. Like, it's a decent price.
Yeah, and you're probably have done a few of them. What kind of names are the ones that are popular at the moment? Or
this year,
their own names?
Do you know what? A lot of the time it's people's own names.
Yeah.
You always see, actually, most of the time when you see people's favourite players is when we're doing we do the mascot jerseys in here as well for the matchday mascots, and you always see, as you'd imagine, the last couple of weeks it's your O'Sullivan's, Jade Anume.
Yeah.
Barry Coffey is another popular one with them. But yeah, there's kind of like, we obviously do the player names, but custom names as well, whatever you want. We've printed some probably questionable things on jerseys that people have requested over the last couple of years, but
there's probably people put global stars like Messi and Ronaldo on the back.
I don't think
has it happened.
I did have a guy in here one day nearly arguing with me that I wouldn't print on his PSG jersey, but I don't think we've had any Messis on a Cork City. Actually, I think we did have a Messi at one point. Don't think we've had a Ronaldo. But we've had a few jokey ones as well that have obviously been for birthday parties and stuff like that.
I'd imagine lots of dad and granddads and things like that.
Dad one is a popular one around Father's Day, actually. Yeah.
Brother or something like that.
Yeah, or best dad, we've had a few of those as well. But one of those things as well that, look, it's quite easy for us to do. So it's something that...
But it's a great
novelty. It elevates your jersey a bit as well. Like.
And listen, it's supporting the club as well. And people often wonder how they can support the club. They've bought their season ticket at the start of the season. What can they do next? Well, buying a bit of merchandise helps as well.
It helps the club, and it also grows the club because people are seeing the jerseys around, people seeing whatever it is. You're raising awareness to Cork City, which is great.
And what do we have? We have one full time and one part time, or how?
There's 3 lads in the shop actually.
Was there
Pat,
3?
Peter, and Adam are all here.
Yeah.
Split across from here and the match night shop at Turner's Cross, and it's a bit of a team effort right now. Yeah, but it's good as well that we've grown to a point where we need more than one person. Do you know what I mean?
It's good.
It's
even
good to see.
Since we came in here earlier on, there's been a flow of people in and out. A lot of people. Sometimes I've seen tourists. I think I saw 2 tourists earlier on, and that's a nice thing for them because they're bringing it back. I know I've done it abroad. You buy something from the local whatever team, no matter what sport it was.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've done my fair share of shifts in the club shop as well, and there's always people in. Be it, they're buying for family members that are abroad, or they're actually here on holidays themselves and they're buying it for themselves, bringing it back. It's just, it's a nice thing to have. They see something with Cork on it. Cork City is our preference here because that's what they're buying rather than just a GAA top or a generic t-shirt. But they come in, they buy it, they send them home. Don't care what they do once they buy it and they wear it really, and the crest is out there. But you get all sorts in here.
And can you still buy tickets for the matches and stuff in here as
Everything's here, yeah. We just sold a couple for the Stoke game there on Wednesday. But match tickets from here. They're actually cheaper to buy from here in advance.
That's going to be my question, yeah. I know we have said it earlier in the season. We probably haven't said it since, but it's cheaper to buy online than to buy on the night of the game. But there are alternatives to come to the shop. Yeah,
exactly. They're cheaper in advance whether you buy online or here in the shop. The easiest way to say it is if you're buying it at the ticket hut, it's more expensive. You could in theory be at the ticket hut, pull out your phone, buy it on your phone, and it's cheaper. But we always have them in here a week or 2 in advance. As soon as the tickets are on sale, we'll have physical ones in here. So we've got Stoke tickets, got Finn Harps tickets, and a lot of people still actually come in here to get their tickets.
We're doing this ahead of the women's game, so we don't have results, and obviously the underage teams are running playing this afternoon as well, so we won't have any of those, but we might get you to fill some of them in later.
I'll be back probably tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, and we'll do a bit of a recap on that. But
so hopefully the quality of this is something new for us. We are thinking of doing 1 or 2 kind of out of the studio type podcasts. Obviously we're getting ready as well for going on the stage in the Opera House, so we kind of have to venture out and try different things.
Yeah, we have a few ideas, to be fair. We want to do even one at Turner's Cross on Friday. One at
Turner's Cross, one with maybe a couple of fans.
Yeah.
So if there's any fans that would love to be on the podcast, and
give us a shout. We'll look for you on a Friday evening and we'll do a sort of live match day edition, which will be fun.
And it doesn't have to be a full. What we're going to do today is different to the usual podcast in that it's going to be small interviews rather than one long interview, because it's quite difficult in the shop.
Exactly. And look, we said it before as well that while there is a format that we want the podcast to be, we're not afraid to sort of try something else and change it up every now and then. We've done that over the last couple of weeks with just us chatting about stuff, getting Murph back in for a recap. Like, we want to do a few different things, and this is one of those different things. We'll see how this goes. And as we mentioned, there's a few other ones that we'll try over the next couple of weeks as well.
Welcome to the podcast, Brad. A bit of an unusual surroundings because we're inside the back of the shop.
Yeah, rather strange. I was wondering there where you was taking me when you said follow me, so I was slightly confused, but here we are.
Yeah, what's it like meeting the fans in person? I suppose you're meeting them after the games, but in the shop it's kind of nice experience.
Yeah, it's lovely for people to come down and say hello and a quick chat of what they're thinking so far of the season, and it's nice to meet people. First
impressions in Cork, you're here kind of 6 or 7 months
Yeah,
at
I've
this
been here
stage?
6-7 months now, so I moved over on the 1st of January. I had an early flight from Manchester on New Year's Day, but yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. Obviously, where we are in the table's helping that a lot, but yeah, I'm really enjoying living here, and it's fantastic. Yeah, nothing but good words to say.
Difference between the National League in the UK and to here? Are you finding?
I don't know. It would be hard to make comparisons. I think with you hear people say, "Oh, compare it to this, compare it to that," but I just focus on where we are at the minute and getting out of this league, and hopefully next season will be more enjoyable for everyone.
And you enjoying life in Cork?
Yeah, really enjoying it. I've been to quite a few golf courses with the boys. Look, on the days off, we try and get out as much as we can when the weather suits.
Which ones?
I've been playing Cove, Kinsale, where do I play? Yeah, just anywhere I can, really.
Yeah, so big golf fan as well.
Well, I am a big golf fan, yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm the best player now. So I do try my best, but sometimes I have a few blow-up holes, and then after that,
it's usually something players get better when they retire from the game.
Yes.
You see a lot of them take it up when they're, reaching their mid-30s and say, okay, I can't play football anymore, I'm going to play golf.
So I got in early enough, so that's my plan, is in however many years' time I'll be half decent, but for now we just make our way around.
You don't have ambitions to be like Gareth Bale all of a sudden?
No chance. I don't think I've got anywhere near the ability for that. That would be a dream to be half as good as he is.
Impressions in terms of your teammates, how are you finding playing? Obviously 2 solid centre backs, it must make it easier during the season to have the same pairing in front of you. Every
Keane
game.
and Chaz are unbelievable to play with. They're just absolutely fantastic. Their reading of the game and how they play, we communicate with each other really well. They're just fantastic to play with. You can trust. The main thing for a goalkeeper is having centre halves who you can trust, and I'm sure it's the same for them, having a keeper that you can trust. So the 3 of us are working really well together, and I think that shows. We're 15 clean sheets in 23, 24 games that we are working really well together, and that trust and communication is there, which is vital, really.
And a plus 30 goal difference at this stage of the season is phenomenal as well.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I was speaking to the manager the other day, and he said if we said this was going to be the case at the start of the season, you'd have snapped someone's hand off for that. So it's fantastic. It's more than we could have hoped for, but the target now is to just keep it going until the end of the season.
How do you stay focused? Because, for lots of periods and matches this season, you've had nothing to do, but then, we get hit in a counter-attack and you've had to make off a worldly of a save towards in maybe the last couple of minutes of the game. How are you staying focused?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just making sure that even last night I was just telling myself they're going to get a chance, and if they do get a chance, then I need to be ready and react to it. So it's just about staying concentrated for the whole game, really. As soon as you switch off, then if they have that one chance and you make a mistake, then it's the worst thing that could possibly happen. So it's just keeping switched on and staying focused as much as I can throughout the game.
And Finn Harps did have that one chance right probably in the last 10 minutes last night that could have easily gone in.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was saying, just about staying focused as much as you can, because even if it's one chance, then I'm hoping that every game I've nothing to do, because that's more ideal. But yeah, if they get one chance, then look, I've got to be ready and make sure that I'm focused and concentrated to try and keep it out the back of the net.
You've had a look around the shop. Is there any merchandise that takes your fancy?
Yeah, I was saying to Howie before, is there anything that I can take on the sly back? But I don't think he's gonna let me have anything. But I'll get on to him again. I'll try again in a minute.
Have you sent anything back to your family over in the UK in terms of merchandise for the club, or have they bought anything or anything like that?
My old man's always over, so I'm definitely going to have to get him in some merchandise soon, seeing as he's coming to the games as often as he can.
Does he enjoy it over here?
Yeah, he loves it. It's absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere, the first game, he come for the first game of the season. The atmosphere at Kerry first game was unbelievable. The atmosphere every time we play at home is fantastic. I much prefer playing at home when we get the crowds and people in coming to watch. It's unbelievable.
And I presume he's flying over and back from Manchester, is it?
Yeah, so it's Manchester or Liverpool. So whatever the flights are, it's ideal enough from where they're living. It's only 30-40 minutes away, so it's great that he can come over whenever we are playing at home. And
there might be a few other family members or friends listening to this podcast, and hopefully we can bring them over and cheer us on before the end of the season.
Yeah,
as well.
100%, definitely.
Well, Brad, thanks a million for coming on, and I'm sure we get a more in-depth interview with you in the next couple of weeks before the end of the season.
100%, thank you very much.
Welcome to the podcast, Christina.
Thanks.
How are you feeling after last week's result against Piedmont?
Jeez, we were buzzing after last week. It was a great result. We've gone up there so many times. We've had hammerings a couple of times. The times we put in good performances, but just it's the first time we've ever taken points off them. So to have that now done, it's a great thing, and hopefully we'll bring it into the game tonight now. We've found it difficult now to put back-to-back wins together for a couple of years, so hopefully, tonight will be the night and we'll get a good crowd there, and being on the cameras in TG Car will be great as well.
Yeah, and this is your second match in front of the cameras this season. I'd say that's a nice buzz, is it?
Yeah, definitely. TG Car have been great to support the league the last couple of years, but not till this season have we been on the cameras. Unfortunately, the match against Treaty didn't go the way we wanted to, so looking to redeem ourselves now tonight in the game. But yeah, it just adds an extra kind of level to it. It makes you feel like the cameras are there, you need to perform, I guess, but at the same time, it's just another game, so I just need to get out there and perform well.
A lot of new players in the team this year. Different feeling in the squad?
Yeah, definitely. I think the players that have been brought in, they've really fit in well with the group of players that we have, the personality-wise, and bringing that bit of experience has definitely helped. We have such a young team. You can always bring in more and more young players, but I think definitely bringing in a couple of, not going to say older players, but with more experience, as, it's shown in the results, I think, especially last week, just 1-0 up, having to see that out, experience definitely helps there, and yeah, so hopefully we can push on with the youth and experience for the rest of the season.
Nice mix between that young and old in the team. You probably find yourself somewhere in the middle,
being 24 now. At the start of the season I was the second oldest.
Whoa.
It felt a bit weird for a while, but now I'm in the middle somewhere. I guess I have experience in the league, which helps, but it's good to have players coming in around my age or a bit older that you have more in common with, I guess, and can get on with. And the girls that have come in, they've blended in well, I think, to the group.
But even though you're only 24, you've been playing since the club 17, is it?
Since I was 17, yeah.
And before that was at Carrickline, was it?
Yeah.
So you're not it's not that this is a new thing to you, whereas maybe some other players in particular in the men's game, they don't break into the first team until their 20s. It's totally different for you.
Yeah, definitely different in the women's side. A lot of younger players break in. Even you see last week in the league there was a 15-year-old starting for Wexford, things like that. It's mad, really. Thinking back, when I was 17 coming into the squad, it was a bit daunting, but it was a much older team then. You didn't have a lot of people my age coming into the squad, whereas now we have a lot of turnover, especially with the underage teams, which is great. And the levels of talent coming through with the younger girls, it's insane, really, to be honest.
Yeah, you've seen a big change. So in that, in the 7 years that you've been with the club, attendances, the buzz around the women's team, is that changing a lot now?
Yeah, definitely. When I came in, I didn't even nearly know we had a women's team in Cork City before I signed. There's no underage teams. We weren't part of the club. The women's
separate,
was separate. So there's been so much change. Amalgamating the clubs, moving into Turner's Cross, getting even the same gear as the lads, training gear and match the jerseys being the same. And every year I think the crowds are getting that bit bigger in attendances, and you can really see the young girls now coming out and supporting. Even at the meet and greet there was a girl who I've seen at the matches, you recognise her. She's been in the huddle after the Rovers game with us. She says she's going to be a mascot now for the game next Tuesday. So things like that, it's really growing the game, and it's great to see.
And with the recent success of the women's national team, that's obviously having a huge impact as well, I'd imagine. Yeah,
definitely. Since the World Cup, I think, I've heard even in local clubs, the amount of girls they have out training during the week, their underage teams has massively increased, which is great to see. And the women's team doing well can only improve the game, get more fans out, and then having the game in Cork and Parky Peeve next week, that will bring a whole new audience potentially,
especially from the south, I'd imagine.
People that might not travel up to Dublin for a game, but after going to that game, maybe the next time they'll go up to Dublin for the game, or maybe they'll be like, oh, Cork City are playing there, the women's team, and next weekend we'll go to that instead. It can only bring good things for the game.
Is it nice to have kind of days like this in the club shop as well, where you get to meet the fans without the pressure of the match environment and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, no, it's definitely good, and it's nice, I think, as well, to to know that people will make the effort to come out when it's, they'll be at the match later as well. So they've come out to see us now, come out to the match later, like, and for people to put in that effort, to show how big of a fan they are, like, it's just crazy really to think about.
Anything catch your attention in the shop today looking around? Is there any nice merchandise there that you kind of said? I
was saying to Howie now, the last time that I did one of these meet and greets, I got to pick something from the shop for myself. So I've been looking at the hoodies now, they're quite nice.
Some nice hoodies there,
Yeah, so I'll have to negotiate with him now, I'd say. But the gear is really nice this year. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah.
Well, look, best of luck with the rest of the season, and thanks a million for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the podcast, Doro.
Thank you for having me.
How's life in Cork since you moved?
Pretty good. It's been busy, doing a lot of things, getting to know new places, new people, but I'm having a good time, really enjoying it here.
How you find adjusting to the accents and at the training, out and about and stuff, even this morning with meeting fans?
I'm getting there. It's getting better and easier. In the beginning, I was like not really understanding much, but now I'm getting used to it. And there's some things like "what's the crack?" where I'm like, "Wait, what is this?" But no, it's getting a lot better, and it's fun to get to know like a different kind of language and culture and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Tell me, how did it end up that you ended up in Cork in the first place?
I was done with my team that I was playing with in Sweden, and I knew I wanted to try a different country. Yeah. Then I was kind of running late, and the other options had closed down, so I got in contact with Danny, and I really liked him when I talked to him, and he said, come over, and I was over the next week, so everything was really fast.
And how did you know about Danny?
I got in contact with my agent. He knew him somehow, I'm not sure, but got me in touch with him, and I thought a really good impression with him, like when I talked to him on the phone first, and really liked what he was trying to achieve here in Cork, and I thought it would be really cool coming over here, kind of, with a group of girls. It's just really excited and really want to learn and grow. So I was really excited for that.
And the standard of the league compared to the Swedish league, what's it like?
Well, I played in like the second league in Sweden. I think it's pretty similar. But I will like in Sweden also it's very competitive. Like every team can kind of beat everyone on a good or bad day. So you just have to look out for every weekend that you play. And every team, so always something to look forward to. Not there's like one team that beats everyone kind of thing. So that was very much the same. I think it's a little more robust here in Ireland. More tough. Tackles, more tough. Exactly. In Sweden was more not so much like that. But I think all the levels pretty much the same. I'd say. Representative
of their national team will be kind of that kind of free flowing football, whereas other nations will be tougher. And that's how they get results. They're a bit more, in with the hard tackles. The Irish, the English sides, even the German team and stuff like that will be a bit tougher than maybe the Swedish sides and the American sides.
Yeah, exactly. Like Swedish seems to be more like American. They have really fast players.
Yes.
A lot of fitness. I think the Irish one is also more looking towards the tactics and technique-wise more than I did in Sweden. So in that way, it's more closer to what I'm used to from Germany. But I think, at the end it's just football. We're all playing the same game, so it's all fun.
You spent a bit of time in the US as well on a scholarship, did you, for football?
Yeah, I went to college. I was there for almost 5 years, I think 4.5. Went to college there and had a good time. Whole college experience.
Yeah.
And playing football, I was lucky to get a full scholarship. Otherwise, it would have been tough to go over there. But I really enjoyed it.
Do you ever have any of the girls here asking you about life over in the US? Potentially looking at opportunities?
I have a little chat now and there. I think mostly just, Colleen and me, because we both had the same experience, just thinking about old days, and Barrett as well, because we all played college. And, being in college and having the whole college experience is a little different than just being, at a club here in Europe somewhere. But I know, it's a great opportunity for young girls to go over after they're done with school, just getting a different experience. So always happy to share some insights that I have, because I never regretted going over there, even though it was not always easy, just because you're away from home. But I really loved it. It's just a really good time.
Yeah, and women's soccer is so big in the US as well. But I'd imagine the college football is actually supported quite well as well, is it, on the back of it?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of, if you go, even I wasn't at a big university, but even as a medium size, with so much support, like just the surroundings, the professional environment, you know, like medical staff and like all the surroundings, like just, you know, gear and all that. You all provided with pretty much everything you need, and a big coaching staff. So that was like very professional. And that's, you know, they're a pretty good standard for college football over there, which is pretty good.
And would there be anything like that in Germany?
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's getting there.
So I played for a team in Germany where it wasn't always easy. They're still struggling financially, but now other teams have men's team to support them.
Oh, yeah.
They're putting a lot of money into the women's team, and it's great to see like they can be fully professional, even at the second level, 7th division, where I used to play. You know, they don't have to worry about having a part-time job. Many of them will still study or go to school, but you know, they can, you know, practice every day. They don't have to worry about financial side of it, and it's really cool to see. Because when I was younger and playing in Germany, for me it was never an option yet because it wasn't there. But it's, you know, the last few years has grown so much, and it's really cool to see.
There's been a major change actually in women's football in the last kind of maybe 8 years, I would say. And you know, I don't know, maybe it was the American women's team winning that World Cup a couple of years back, or a couple of stars, Megan Rapinoe and stuff like that. Maybe is it, or Sam Kerr, or is it FIFA? What something's happened that's changed the game all of a sudden, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. When you see it, there's so many people coming out to women's games, you know, like filling big stadiums. Now the women's side getting, you know, to play at those huge stadiums, and they're full.
And they're full, yeah.
What anyone expected, you know, the European Championship was in England, where you had just so huge crowd coming out.
Massive.
I think that one puts in there now. In Germany, they have now a rule that the men's teams, they do have to have a women's teams.
Okay.
To, you know, have equal, and I think that's just a rule from the German, like.
So is it maybe promotion
I think it's,
from the clubs themselves, and that's given credibility, and that's given awareness, maybe?
I mean, but also the clubs are just realizing there's the audience for women's.
Yeah.
There's so many, you know, young girls that want to have like the Rapinos or whatever, you know. Like when I grew up, you know, all the players I looked at, they were all men. But now, you know, the young girls get to see how there's like a Sam Kerr, or like even in Germany, you know, like younger players like Oberdorf who are like just incredibly talented.
Or Katie McCabe or something for the Irish, or Denise O'Sullivan or someone like that.
So I think like there is the audience now, and many clubs are realising that, just, you know, luckily putting more money on the financial side for the women's, and that's pretty cool. Because I didn't grow up like, you know, I've never thought I could be fully professional, be living off of that. But I think now there's the, you know, you can dream of it when you're a little girl, but like, I can't really do that. I can have the dream of being a fully professional player.
And some of the younger players that are playing with you at City are probably thinking that right now, are they?
Yeah, I think so much potential in the team. I definitely think they can, you know, get to a stage, go to those big clubs and just have a good time and like be fully professional. I can't wait to see them do that.
What has been the standout this season so far for you? Like playing, what games stick out in your mind?
Ooh, it's hard to pick one game. I think the Rovers game was a lot of fun, you know. We just, you know, fought to the end and we got the win there. Obviously a great team goal, but I think it's just all together, also playing at home, having a crowd there, which is pretty cool. I think that's the game of mine. But to be fair, there are other moments where I should think back where I can feel like the support from everyone on the field, like coaches, players and staff. I think that's really that I have in mind and I really like about the team.
Have you had friends and family come over from Germany to have a look?
Not yet, but my parents are planning to come over in August, and they're really excited to come and you know, see what Cork is about and the team and all that.
Were you ever in Cork before this year?
No.
Had you been in Ireland?
No? First trip to Ireland.
So, overall, what's your experience so far?
Pretty good. Very beautiful country. The traffic is terrible, but the country, the nature is nice, and the people are very nice. I love meeting new people and getting to know their culture, and they are very nice, very welcoming. That's been awesome.
What's the experience like meeting fans in the shop today?
They're great. They're very nice. You know, we have a few young girls coming in and they're excited, a little shy in the beginning, but it's just awesome to come and have them, you know, want an autograph from us, and they're used to it. So it's pretty cool that we have so much support in the city.
Anything in the club shop that stands out that you'd like to purchase yourself?
Well, sure. I mean, I think the black jersey, we'll like it.
You like that, yeah.
The all black jersey, I'd definitely get one of those at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I really like that one. But I think the blue one is just the blue jerseys, I think, my favourite.
Yeah, it's cool. It's different.
Definitely cool.
Well, look, best of luck with the rest of the season. Hopefully we might get a cup run. I know you have a local derby coming up in a few weeks' time, which will be a really interesting one. But thanks a million for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right, so a bit of time has passed since myself and Stephen spoke. We were talking there in the club shop at the meet and greet, which went really well actually. It was great to see the crowd in and great to be able to chat to Brad, Christina and Doro as well, to hear from the three of them and how they enjoyed it and how things have been going for them this season. And we spoke about the fact that we had the women's game to come that evening, and what an evening we ended up having at Turner's Cross. It was absolutely incredible. We went 1-0 down, which wasn't ideal, but towards the end Colleen Kennedy managed to get us back level, and then, as I'm sure you've seen on social media over the weekend, that absolute screamer in the 90th minute from Doro to win the game, which was absolutely incredible. We were just raving beforehand about how brilliant Cahill's goal was on Friday night, and he was outdone on Saturday with that one. It was absolutely class. 2 wins this season over Bohemians, which is great, and came right after a massive win over Peamount last week. So it was a huge 6 points in the space of a week. And I spoke to Danny after the game, and obviously very happy Danny Murphy after the game, about kind of how the tide has turned the last couple of weeks and how it's time now, I suppose, for people to start taking Cork City a bit more seriously in the Women's Premier Division. So yeah, this is what he had to say there. Danny, we're making a habit of the incredible goals.
Yeah, I wish they'd come a bit earlier in the games. I'm going to have a heart attack by the end of the season. No, look, honestly, what finish. Like, even that, Orla had a couple of decent chances in the game, and we tried to get Orla a little bit close to the goal as well so she can get more shots off, because her ball striking is really good. But what a goal to win the game. Like, it's an amazing finish.
In terms of chances, you mentioned Orla having chances there. There was kind of an onslaught of chances towards the end. We could have had 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, look, second half, we had to go more direct. We had to try and play in their half more and not play out. So, like, we were trying not to play out in the first half, but we weren't winning the second balls. And in the second half, we spoke at half time, and we had to start winning the second balls, and we'd done that. And we was able to then regain possession in their half and stay in their half instead of getting back into our half, then into theirs. And that allows you to press teams and to be on top of teams and be consistent and stay in their half. And we've done it so well in the second half.
We spoke about it last week as well when Freya got the goal, but all the free kicks tonight on the halfway line, all of a sudden that becomes a danger area to have a free kick from.
Yeah, like Freya's an exceptional player. Like, her ball strike is brilliant. Like, the way she hits the ball, and it's exactly where it needs to be every time. And we knew signing Freya, that's why we wanted at the start of the year, is that she'd be an asset to us in terms of things like that. With Doro coming in, and Doro coming on at half time is such a threat on set pieces. Like, she's always in and around it. And to be fair, Little Legs Orla was getting onto a few of them as well. Like, they kept dropping to her in the box, and you're like going, Little Legs is going to finish, but she's determined to get a goal off a set piece anyway. So hopefully she does before the end of the season.
And just on Doro, the last couple of weeks, missing out through injury and coming back in now and getting back on the pitch and doing that to end the game. Incredible.
Yeah, but like, being injured, she's been training every week, not missed a session, always on it, working after herself, trying to stay on top of things. And look, could you have started her potentially, but you'd have been bringing her off at half time, 60 minutes in the game. So it was like, let's see how we can get to half time, and then we affect the game then after that. And look, she's a good player, and we want to keep her here for as long as we possibly can, and hopefully now we can keep her in, staying to next year and hopefully longer and years after that, because not just a good player, she's a good person and she's great around the group.
Last week's victory over Peamount, and now the second victory over Bowes this season. Is it time to people kind of start taking Cork City seriously?
Yeah, I think we need to. I think people need to. I think for us it's about being consistent. And look, we weren't consistent in our performance first half, but we've been consistent in winning the game because we turned it around second half and done really well. But we're not worried about anyone else. Just concentrate on what we need to do. People can talk, people can say things, and the cameras can be here, but we've just got to make sure we do our job week in, week out, and then the results will come and we'll start moving further and further up the league.
Yeah, as I mentioned, a very happy Danny Murphy after that one. We spoke about the 2 big results in a week. Next up is actually Shamrock Rovers away on the 27th of July. Played Shamrock Rovers at home in May and beat them. So the girls are definitely going to be up for it. It's going to be another massive game. We're actually 3 points ahead of Rovers in the table at the minute. So that's definitely one to look forward to and to keep an eye on. And after that, we kick off the FAI Cup campaign against Douglas Hall at Turner's Cross. So busy couple of weeks coming up for the women's first team. We mentioned before as well just what's to come next weekend. The men's first team obviously have the Stoke match on Wednesday evening, but on Saturday we welcome Finn Harps again for the second round of the FAI Cup. Saturday at 5 o'clock. Bit of an unusual kick-off time for us, but hopefully we can pick up a win there, and we had a great cup run last year. If we can do something similar this year, that would be absolutely fantastic. Going back to last weekend now, just on the academy front, we'll have a quick roundup of the results. So on Saturday, brilliant result actually in Bishopstown, and a great game by all accounts. The under-20s beat Shamrock Rovers 3-1 thanks to a hat-trick from Matthew Murray, which was fantastic. Women's under-17s lost to Shamrock Rovers in Mayfield, and the men's under-15s won against Wexford. Jamie Ndewuba and Alex O'Hurley with the goals in that. On Sunday, the men's under-17s had a 3-1 win over Treaty, another hat-trick, this time from Denzel Obenge, and the men's under-14s lost 1-0 to Cove Ramblers. That's pretty much it then for this week. A couple of things to plug. Obviously the comedy night that's coming up on the 31st of October in the Everyman. We had Andrew Ryan on a couple of weeks ago. He spoke about that and what's to come in that. That's shaping up to be a great night, so tickets are available for that. You can go to corkcityfc.ie/comedy and get them from there. We also have the live special of this very podcast, myself and Stephen Ryan, live at the Opera House on Thursday the 5th of September. We'll be joined by a number of characters and popular figures from the club's history, and we'll be announcing more about that over the next couple of weeks when we're both back. And that's going to be a really fun night. That's something we're really excited about. Tickets are available for that from the Cork Opera House website. You can find it linked on our social media as well. But that's pretty much it for this week. Stephen will be back next week. I'm away. I'll be back the week after. So hopefully we'll all get to enjoy another win in the cup on Saturday, and we can start a nice little cup run for ourselves again hopefully this year. As always, hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to share it on social media and follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you listen to your podcasts. And as always, the support is very much appreciated. We'll see you in the next one.